Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to study about the SN1 reaction and the SN2 reaction. Now let's understand the SN1 reaction. SN1 stands for the substitution, nucleophilic and the unimolecular reaction. So in a general SN1 reaction, an alkyl halide react with a nucleophile to form a new compound that is RNU while the leaving group departs. So do you know about the R, Lg and nucleophile? So R means any alkyl halide group. R represent the alkyl halide and Lg means leaving group. Okay, so leaving group means leaving group such as Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, etc. Okay, and nucleophile, Nu means nucleophile. So nucleophiles such as OH or we can say that CN, that is cyanide, or NH3, that is ammonia, etc. Okay. The word unimolecular means that the rate determining step depends only on the concentration of the alkyl halide, not on the nucleophile. Okay. Now let's see how the SN1 reaction take place step by step. Okay. So this is mechanism of SN1 reaction occurs in a two-step. In the first and the slowest step. First step is the slowest step of this reaction. Okay, so the first step, that is slowest step, that is carbon and bromide bond break. Okay, so this bond break, the bromide ion leaves with the bonding electron forming a carbocation and a bromide ion. Okay, so this is the rate determining step because the formation of carbocation requires the highest amount of energy. Okay, that's why this is slowest step of this reaction. Okay, so what about the step 2? In the second step, the hydroxide ion which act as a nucleophile attack the positively charged carbocation. As a result, new COH bond is formed, producing as alcohol as the final product since the carbocation is planar. Right? So this structure of carbocation is planar. So that nucleophile can attack from either side. Okay, so nucleophile can attack from either side, which may lead to a racemic mixture if the carbocation is chiral. Okay, if that carbon is chiral, so it can produce a racemic mixture if the carbon is chiral. Okay, so this completes the SN1 reaction mechanism. Now let's discuss the characterization of SN1 reaction. First point is SN1 reaction is favored by tertiary alkyl halide. SN1 reaction occurs most readily with the tertiary alkyl halide followed by secondary alkyl halide, while primary alkyl halide rarely undergo the SN1 reaction because tertiary carbocation is the most stable carbocation. That's why tertiary alkyl halide is favored by SN1 reaction. Second point is SN1 reaction is favored by polar protic solvent. Okay, so the polar protic solvent means H2O, CH3OH and ethanol. Okay, so that polar protic solvent stabilizes the carbocation. Okay, so it stabilizes the carbocation and the leaving group, making the reaction easier. Okay, that's why it is favored by polar protic solvent. Fourth point is racemization of you. If the reacting carbon is chiral, carbocation form is planar. Therefore, the nucleophile can attack from either side, producing a racemic mixture containing the both enantiomer. Okay, so it can attack from either side if the carbocation is chiral. Okay. Fifth point is carbocation rearrangement may occur. Okay, so carbocation rearrangement means carbocation intermediate is formed. It can undergo, if the carbocation intermediate is formed, it can undergo hydride shift or the methyl shift. Hydride shift or the methyl shift may occur. Okay, to form a more stable carbocation before the nucleophile attack. Okay. Sixth point is unimolecular rate law. SN1 reaction follow the first order rate law because the slow rate determining step involve only the substrate. That's why it is unimolecular reaction. Okay, so rate equation is rate is equal to K into substrate. Okay, so substrate means R Lg. Okay, that is alkyl halide, any alkyl halide in the SN1 reaction. Okay, so this is all about the SN1 reaction. Let's understand the racemization in an SN1 reaction using the simple cat analogy. Here, the grey cat carbon, and that orange cat represent the nucleophile. Initially, the leaving group or the grey cat, okay, this is leaving group. Initially, the leaving group or the grey cat is sitting on the carbon atom. In the first step of the SN1 reaction, the leaving group leaves, creating a empty bed. This empty bed represent the planar carbocation. Okay, this empty bed represent the planar carbocation. Because the carbocation is planar, the nucleophile can approach from either side. If the nucleophile attack from front side, okay, so this is front side, the original arrangement is maintained. This is called the retention of configuration. Okay, so this is the retention product. Okay, if the nucleophile attack from back side, okay, this is back side. Okay, this is back side. So if the nucleophile attack from the back side, the arrangement is reversed. This is called the inversion of configuration. Okay, producing a inversion product. So SN1 gives a mixture of both product, that is retention product and the inversion product. Since both front side and the back side attack are possible, so both product are formed. This is mixture of retention and the inversion product is known as a racemic mixture, and this phenomena is called the racemization. Okay, this is racemization. Okay, so this is all about the SN1 reaction. Now let's move on to the SN2 reaction. SN2 stands for substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. The general reaction is RLG, NU, RNU plus LG, where R is the alkyl group, NU is the nucleophile and LG is the leaving group. In an SN2 reaction, the nucleophile attack the carbon atom. In an SN2 reaction, the nucleophile attack the carbon atom. At the same time, the leaving group departs. Okay, so this leaving group departs. Since both the substrate and the nucleophile are involved in the rate determining step, that's why it is called as a bimolecular reaction. Okay, now let's understand the mechanism of SN2 reaction. Okay, so the SN2 reaction occurs in a single step. Here, the hydroxide acts as a nucleophile and attack the carbon atom from the back side. Okay, so it attacks from the back side. Okay, and the opposite to the leaving group. Okay, it can attack from back side and it is opposite of leaving group, that is bromine, as the new carbon oxygen bond is formed. Okay, this is carbon and oxygen bond. Okay, so that new carbon oxygen bond begins to form the carbon bromine bond, breaks simultaneously. During this process, a transition state is formed. Okay, this is transition state. Okay, so this is transition state. During this, a transition state is formed in which carbon is partially bonded to both nucleophile and leaving group. Okay, so this is partially bonded to carbon. Okay, this is nucleophile and this is leaving group. So these two bonds are formed partially in the transition state. Finally, the bromide ion leaves completely and producing this alcoholic product. Because the attack occurs from the back side, the product shows the inversion of configuration. Okay, it is also known as a Walden inversion. Okay, this is also known as a Walden inversion. This is also known as a Walden inversion. Okay, finally, the alcoholic product is formed and this is inversion product. Okay. Now let's discuss the characterization of the SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction is favored by primary alkyl halide. Okay, so SN2 reaction are fastest with the primary alkyl halide followed by the secondary, and while tertiary alkyl halide rarely undergo the SN2 reaction because of steric hindrance. Second point is SN2 reaction favored by polar aprotic solvent. Okay, so what is polar aprotic solvent? Polar aprotic solvent means acetone, DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfoxide, and DMF, that is dimethyl fluoride. So these are some examples of polar aprotic solvent. This solvent enhances the nucleophilicity of the nucleophile. Okay. Third point is strong nucleophile is required. A strong nucleophile such as OH, CN or I is essential because it directly attacks the substrate. Okay. Fourth point is inversion of configuration. Okay. This is inversion of configuration means since the nucleophile attack from backside, the product shows the inversion of configuration, also called the Walden inversion. Okay. This is Walden inversion. Walden is the scientist. Okay. So no carbocation rearrangement is formed in SN2 reaction. Okay, this is the fifth point. So, unlike SN1 reaction, no carbocation intermediate is formed. So, hydride or methyl shift do not occur in this SN2 reaction. Okay. Sixth point is bimolecular rate law. So, the rate of the SN2 reaction depends on both the substrate and the nucleophile. Therefore, the rate equation is rate is equal to K into substrate into nucleophile. Because SN2 reaction depends on the substrate and the nucleophile. That's why it is called as a bimolecular reaction. Let's understand the SN2 reaction using this simple cat analogy. Here, the grey cat represents the living group and the red represents the carbon and the orange cat represents the nucleophile. Okay. In first figure, the nucleophile represented by the orange cat. Okay. And approaches the carbon atom from the back side opposite to the living group. Okay. In the second figure, the orange cat enters the bed, the grey cat starts leaving the bed. At the same time, this means the formation of new bond and the breaking of the old bond occurs simultaneously. Okay, at the same time, orange cat attack and the grey cat leaves. Okay, so these two processes occur at the simultaneously. Okay, in the third figure, the orange cat completely takes the place of grey cat. Okay, the grey cat leaves. The product is formed with the inversion of configuration. Okay, also known as a Walden inversion. Okay, we can also say that Walden inversion. Okay, so the SN2 reaction is concentrated one-step reaction. Okay, this is one-step reaction. This is one-step reaction, not a three-step reaction. Now let's summarize the key feature of SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction is concentrated one-step reaction, so no intermediate is formed. The nucleophile always attack from the backside. The product always shows the inversion of configuration and the reaction is faster with the strong nucleophile and the substrate with a less steric hindrance such as primary alkyl halide. So this is one step. Backside attack is the defining feature of SN2 reaction. Okay, so this is all about the SN2 reaction. Now that we have studied both SN1 and the SN2 reaction, let's compare them side by side. So first point is mechanism. So what is the mechanism of SN1 and the SN2 reaction? So SN1 reaction is a two-step. Okay, SN1 reaction is a two-step reaction and in SN2 reaction is one-step reaction. Okay, one-step reaction. Second point is intermediate. So in SN1 reaction, carbocation intermediate is formed, right? So carbocation intermediate is formed. In contrast, SN2 reaction does not form any intermediate. So no intermediate is formed. No intermediate is formed in SN2 reaction, right? What about the rate law? Third point is rate law. So the rate depends on both the substrate and the nucleophile in SN2 reaction, and in SN1 reaction only substrate. Okay, only it depends only on the substrate. So the rate law of S1 reaction is K into substrate, and in SN2 reaction it depends on substrate and nucleophile also. Right. Next point is rate depends on. Okay, so rate depends on the substrate in SN1 reaction, and in SN2 reaction it depends on both the substrate and nucleophile. Substrate and nucleophile. Okay. Next point is nucleophile. SN1 reaction can occur even with a weak nucleophile, while the SN2 reaction requires a strong nucleophile. Okay. So SN1 reaction, weak nucleophile and strong nucleophile, and in SN2 reaction strong nucleophile required. Okay, Next is the substrate preference. SN1 is favored by tertiary alkyl halide followed by secondary, while the primary alkyl halide rarely undergo the SN1 reaction. On the other hand, SN2 is favored by primary alkyl halide followed by secondary, while tertiary alkyl halide rarely undergo the SN2 reaction because of steric hindrance. Okay, so tertiary alkyl halide, secondary and primary in SN1 reaction, and for SN2 reaction it is primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay. Next is solvent. So next point is solvent. SN1 reaction are favored by polar protic solvent such as water or molecule, water and molecules. SN2 reaction are favored by polar aprotic solvent such as DMF, DMSO or acetone. Okay. So it is favored by polar protic and it is favored by polar aprotic solvent. Okay. Next point is stereochemistry. So SN1 reaction generally produce racemization because of the nucleophile can attack from either side of the planar carbocation, and in SN2 reaction always produce the inversion of configuration, also known as a Walder inversion, due to the backside attack. Okay, so we can say that racemization and inversion product. Okay, racemization product and inversion product. So what about the rearrangement? So rearrangement. Carbocation rearrangement is possible in SN1 reaction because carbocation intermediate is formed. In SN2 reaction, rearrangement is not possible since no carbocation intermediate is formed. So, and rearrangement possible? Not possible. Okay. Rearrangement possible in SN1 reaction and no rearrangement possible in SN2 reaction. Okay. So, SN1 is a two-step reaction involving a carbocation intermediate, racemization and possible rearrangement. SN2 is a one-step reaction with a backside attack, Walder inversion and no intermediate is formed. Okay. So, you have to remember this key point for SN1 and the SN2 reaction. Okay. So, SN1 is two-step, right? SN1 is a two-step plus carbocation. Okay, two-step reaction. Carbocation is formed plus racemization. Okay, racemization product. Racemization product is formed in SN1 reaction. What about the SN2 reaction? SN2 reaction is a one-step reaction plus no carbocation is formed. Okay, and backside attack in SN2 reaction plus inversion product. Okay, so these two key points you have to remember for SN1 and SN2 reaction. So this is all about the SN1 and the SN2 reaction. Okay, so that's all for today's class. We will continue in the next classes. Until then, take care. Bye bye.